Have you ever heard of the 10x developer? It's this legendary figure in the tech world, someone who's supposedly 10 times more productive than an average programmer. For years, companies have been on a quest to find and hire these mythical unicorns. They're the ones who can single-handedly build a feature in a week that would take an entire team a month. They see the matrix, they breathe code, and they solve problems in their sleep. It's a concept that's been both celebrated and criticized. Celebrated because, well, who wouldn't want that kind of productivity? But criticize because it often promotes a lone wolf mentality and can create toxic team dynamics. It focuses purely on individual coding output, which, as we know, is only one piece of the software development puzzle. But what if I told you that the game has changed? That the very definition of a top-tier developer is undergoing a radical transformation? The 10x developer, with their laser focus on code, is becoming a relic of the past. A new kind of developer is emerging, one that's not just 10 times, but potentially 100 times more impactful. This is the era of the 100x developer, and what makes them so different isn't just about how fast they can code. It's about how they leverage the most powerful tools of our time, especially AI, and how they multiply the efforts of everyone around them. This isn't just an upgrade. It's a complete paradigm shift. Stick around, because we're going to break down what it means to be a 100x developer and why you should be striving to become one. Let's first take a quick trip back to understand the 10x developer. This idea gained traction in the 1970s from studies that showed massive productivity differences between programmers. The 10x developer was the genius coder, the one who could solve complex algorithmic problems with elegant, efficient code. Their value was measured in lines of code, bug fixes, and feature velocity. They were masters of their tools, their IDE, their command line, their chosen programming language. They were the person you went to when a problem seemed impossible, and for a long time, this model worked. In a world where the primary bottleneck was writing the code itself, having someone who could write it faster and better was a huge advantage. They were seen as force multipliers, but often in a very direct, hands-on way. They did the work, but the tech landscape is vastly different today. Software is more complex, more interconnected. It's built by large, distributed teams. The challenges aren't just about writing code anymore. They're about communication, collaboration, system design, scalability, security, and user experience. A developer who is brilliant at coding but can't communicate their ideas, mentor others, or think about the bigger business picture is no longer the most valuable player on the team. Their impact is capped. This is where the limitations of the 10x model become glaringly obvious. Focusing solely on individual coding output creates silos and ignores the true force multiplier in modern software development: the team. So, what exactly is a 100x developer? It's not about writing code 100 times faster. It's about creating 100 times the value. This new breed of developer thinks differently. They are not just coders, they are orchestrators, communicators, and strategists. They understand that their primary role is not just to build things, but to enable others to build things better and faster. Their impact is exponential because they uplift the entire organization. Let's break down the key pillars that define the 100x developer. First and foremost is AI fluency. This is the big one. The 100x developer doesn't see AI tools like GitHub, Copilot, or ChatGPT as just fancy autocomplete. They see them as a junior developer, a sparring partner, and a tireless assistant all rolled into one. They have mastered the art of prompt engineering. They know how to ask the right questions to get AI to generate boilerplate code, write tests, explain complex concepts, refactor messy functions, and even brainstorm architectural solutions. This frees up their mental energy from the mundane tasks of coding and allows them to focus on the high-level creative problem-solving that truly drives value. They're not just using AI to code faster. They're using it to think better. They might use it to quickly prototype an idea, translate code between languages, or even document their work automatically by offloading the cognitive load of syntax and boilerplate. They can operate at a higher level of abstraction, focusing on system design and business logic. The second pillar is being a force multiplier for the team. While the 10x developer was often a lone wolf, the 100x developer is a pack leader. They understand that the team's collective output is far more important than their individual contribution. How do they do this? Through mentorship. They actively spend time pairing with junior developers, not just to fix a bug, but to teach them problem-solving frameworks. They create high-quality documentation that makes it easy for new members to get up to speed. They champion best practices in code reviews, focusing on constructive feedback that elevates the skills of the entire team. They're obsessed with improving the developer experience. They'll automate tedious processes, set up better CI/CD pipelines, and introduce tools that make everyone's life easier. Their success is measured not by how many pull requests they merge, but by how quickly and effectively their team can deliver value. A 100x developer might spend an entire day not writing a single line of production code, but instead, they might unblock 3 other developers, improve a deployment process that saves hours for the whole team, and write a design document that clarifies the next 6 months of work. That's exponential impact. The third pillar is product and business acumen. The 100x developer doesn't just wait for a ticket to be assigned to them. They are deeply invested in the why behind the what. They understand the customer's pain points, the company's business goals, and the market landscape. They participate in product discussions, challenge assumptions, and suggest features or technical approaches that could deliver more value to the user. They can translate a business need into a technical strategy. For example, instead of just building a feature as specified, they might propose a simpler, faster to implement version that delivers 80% of the value for 20% of the effort, allowing the company to get feedback from users sooner. They think like an owner, not just an employee. This ability to bridge the gap between engineering and business is incredibly rare and incredibly valuable. They ensure that the engineering team is always working on the most impactful things, preventing wasted effort on features that don't move the needle. So, how do you become a 100x developer? It's a journey, not a destination, and it starts with a shift in mindset. First, embrace AI. Don't be afraid of it. Start using tools like Copilot every single day. Make it a habit. Experiment with different prompts. Use it to learn new things. Challenge yourself to use AI to solve a problem you've been stuck on. The goal is to integrate it so deeply into your workflow that it becomes a natural extension of your own mind. Second, start thinking beyond your own keyboard. Look for opportunities to help your teammates. Is someone struggling with a concept you understand well? Offer to pair with them. Is the documentation for a service confusing? Take the initiative to improve it. In your next code review, don't just point out syntax errors. Ask questions that prompt deeper thinking about the design and its long-term implications. Celebrate the successes of your teammates as if they were your own. Your goal is to create a rising tide that lifts all boats. Third, get curious about the business. Talk to your product manager. Ask them about the company's goals for the quarter. Read customer feedback. Try to understand who your users are and what problems they face. When you're given a task, don't just blindly execute it. Ask why. Understand the context. This will not only make your work more meaningful, but it will also empower you to make better technical decisions that align with the bigger picture. The transition from a 10x to a 100x developer is not about abandoning technical excellence. Deep technical skills are still the foundation. You can't orchestrate a symphony if you don't know how to play an instrument. But it is about realizing that technical skill alone is no longer enough. The most valuable developers of the future will be the ones who can combine their technical prowess with AI fluency, strong communication skills, and a deep understanding of the product and business. They are the connectors, the enablers, and the strategists. They don't just build software, they build high-performing teams and successful products. The age of the lone genius coder is over. The age of the collaborative, business-savvy, AI-powered orchestrator is here. The era of the 100x developer has begun. What do you think? Is this the future of software development? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more content like this.